Hello everybody and welcome to GTR24H Sprint Series highlights here from Laguna Seca. These were the qualifying results. Pierluca Amato took the pole with a 20.8, the only man to get into the 20s indeed, with Tim Yarshaw and Marco Pisic, the two Euronics cars, in second and third. Michael O'Brien was fourth, and Jesper Pedersen ended up rounding off a Porsche top 5, which was very good indeed for them. Then it was two BMWs, the new cars there, with Luca Burke and John Munro starting those cars. As we went to the front though, it was Amato versus Yarshaw on the front row, and they got away cleanly initially from the start, but the Andretti hairpin is famous for causing first lap incidents, and I'm afraid this lap was no different. A bit of a squeeze down the inside. It was actually Jesper Pedersen trying to make up positions. He got into P3, but in the end, his chain reaction spun around Matt Beavis, who was out of the race after only one lap. A big shame for those guys. This was pretty energised as well, by the way. 6-car battle going on for only P6. We're mere 2 laps into the race. This was John Munro trying to get past Richard Schaefer in the buttler-pal Honda. Simon Crane was also getting the pressure on to, or heaping the pressure on here to Daniele Primavera down into the corkscrew. This is only 10 minutes into the race, but he couldn't quite get through at this particular moment. He would have to wait for a little bit later on. Yarshaw and Amato were battling really hard though here into the corkscrew. This was the kind of pressure he was being put under. Amato's just going to go a little bit wide here, just misses apex, and that just shows the kind of driving Yarshaw was doing. Yarshaw did actually get a drive-through penalty for turning Amato, which was not on the stream, but that would severely affect the rest of this race. John Munro had a real door open here when Simon Crane went wide, and the BMW was just easily able to slip through down here on the inside into the corkscrew. That would allow him into P number 5, and Simon Crane would be stuck in a Simply Race sandwich with those two BMWs really crowding him out of that top 5. Filip Mapsik was working on the back of Marco Pisic here, the other way round. Pisic, after a pretty poor start, got caught up in some of those first lap accidents, managed to get through, but a fantastic cutback here from Mapsik meant they were running side by side down here into turn number 1, and the Honda would indeed get his position back once again, which was a very impressive cutback indeed. This was Tim Yarshaw serving his drive-through penalty, and you'll just see on the main pit straight on the left-hand side right now, Jesper Pedersen going through in the black and white Burst E-sports car. He will be up to second, but how long would it last? That will be the question. This was also very, very close indeed. Simon Crane barging his way through on another of the Porsches, and then nearly losing it straight away down there into turn number 4. An incredible save, it has to be said. And he would continue on in P5, although that battle would continue on and be very, very exciting indeed, actually. He would hold on to that P number 5 just for now, though, with John Munro and Luca Burke still stalking in behind in their BMWs. This will be Tim Yarshaw here on the replay, making Pedersen defend into the penultimate corner, and then eventually making him give up into the final one. It was Yarshaw into second place, and he would go and chase down, or try to at least, Pierluca Amato just up in front. This was Michael O'Brien trying to get through on Daniele Primavera. You see Primavera just in front there, a little bit of a tap going into the hairpin. No harm, no foul there. However, there was a bit of a foul here down into the hairpin on the very next lap indeed. Michael O'Brien faking it one side, going down the inside of the other, but accidentally tipping round Primavera, who went for a full pirouette indeed. But O'Brien ended up getting a drive-through penalty. Marco Pisic continued his march up the field. This was on Mikko Mo, who was going a little bit wide there at turn number 4. And that was a free invitation for Marco Pisic, who didn't need to be asked twice. Around the outside into turn number 5 was actually pretty impressive in the end. And this battle continued on to 6, which is not really a corner where you want to be going side by side. But Mo was just far enough back that Pisic could take his line and take that position as well. He was up into P6, but the pit stops were changing things around and changing things everywhere, really. This was Richard Schaefer, who was just about to be overtaken by Brioni, who was got into the net race-leading Porsche. However, Schaefer had to stop before his pit box, presumably to wait for his teammate to get into the server and get ready, and that cost them a lot of positions. They would end up being P11 after the pit stop cycle, after being comfortably in the points and even in the top 5 at some points. So it was a real shame for those guys. This was Ross McGregor in the new BMW, of course, and letting Mike Epps through. Possible suggestions of team orders here, but McGregor later reporting he was struggling with engine dramas, and so he would let his teammate through anyway, because there was no point keeping him in front of him, basically, and holding him up. This was Miles Dixon, just in front. You can see there in the pink Porsche, or slightly pink Porsche, at least from the back. He went very, very wide indeed, even going to the darker gravel on the right-hand side. He would rejoin. Mike Epps was easily getting to 4th position, but Ross McGregor would make slightly harder work of it down there into turn number 5. Into P number 5, but Dixon was down into P6 anyway. Things would get even worse for him a little bit later on, though. He would nearly roll the car here. Have a look at this. There's a big sausage curve on the inside of turn number 4, and have a look at that. Nearly rolls it and spun again, but Jackson was able to get through for Musto. A catch that was not actually on camera, but he would get that position anyway. Mike Epps here avoiding Daniel Fromo, who would get a drive-through penalty later on, taking him out of the points. But it was Tiziano Brioni who was not only in the points, but he was on the top of everybody here to take 2 in 2 for Musto GD E-sport, and really taking it to Burst E-sport, who would finish 3rd on the day, losing another 10 points in their championship charge. A fantastic drive for Musto there, who won the race by 12 seconds in the end to Euronics Gaming Team Intel and Burst Esport in 3rd. Burst would continue on in the lead of the championship though. Just 15 points is the margin now between those two teams.